toward the Zoom.
The spelling of J-RAF in Roll20 is wrong.
No, it is correct. I have
R-A-A-F?
Yeah.
Not R-A-F-F?
Yeah. I picked a name where I could have as many vowels
Oh,
as
so you told
possible.
me wrong then.
You know what? I did tell you wrong. I'm like, oh yeah.
Today has sucked on
AAF.
so many levels. I shouldn't
I'm
care.
sorry.
It's fine.
Why would you lie to everybody?
Because I forgot how to spell my name.
Well, I've been there.
I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. I wanted as many vowels in this name as possible.
TPK.
Should have spelled it J-A-I-E.
Ben.
No
Something
one's
happened to my Audacity.
J is fine.
Oh, my cat's sitting on my keyboard. That's what's wrong.
So it's R. So it's R-A-A-F.
Yeah.
And J-A-E-E.
J-A-E-E. R-A-A-F.
And I have no idea where Steven put the rest of that stuff on this computer. So I will fix that. Well, nope, there it is.
Are you trying the fancy?
Not today, because we have a cable tech coming tomorrow to look at our internet. So we'll see if I'm even here all night tonight. That might be another thing we have to pause for while I go reset our modem.
Right, I'm recording
Steven
again.
did get everything set up for, like, he started creating a TPK brand, I think was what it was called or something. I was like, oh boy,
that sounds like fun.
But yeah, so it'll be like he can just flip back and forth between Radio Free Scaro and Total Party Kill. It'll have all the right stuff.
Sounds like new toy syndrome.
Yeah, with StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
And StreamYard is Mac or Windows based?
This is I don't know. It's probably both, but Steven uses it on a Mac.
Gotcha.
And yeah, apparently their customer service is amazing, because his file was 0.2 of a second shorter. The audio file was 0.2 of a second shorter than the other two people on his call, and he put in a ticket and it like immediately got a response, and he was like, oh, that's nice. You know, they have the automatic bounce back, we've received but no, it was an actual person being like, send me the files, send me the project. We'll look into it. So that's a nice sign from something relatively new. All right, where's QuickTime? There it is.
It's me, QuickTime.
Who knew
totally
QuickTime
legally
was
distinct
Italian?
from Mario. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I am going to start recording the screen. Right, where's the button? I've lost it already. Here we go. File, new screen recording. Right there. Enter. Okay, everybody want to ping the map for me?
Where do you want us to ping on the map?
Anywhere.
Middle.
I have a huge. Like,
You're zoomed
it's
out.
getting most of it right now. Yep. So
Got it.
yay. Okay.
Okay.
And my last ping there. All right.
Okay.
Whew.
I'm the only one who saw the ping.
What? No.
I saw several pings.
I saw lots of pings.
I
I'm
only
down
saw
at the
one
bottom
ping.
of the map.
I think it
the
depended.
wrong map.
I think it's probably just depending where you were zoomed in on.
That could be.
You and I are outside the door.
Ah, there's the. Okay.
Oh,
So I'm down by you.
It's a big map.
It's a very big map. What a savings.
Passed along to you.
Yeah.
I grabbed Thar.
Reference acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think everything is working. We don't really have any viewers because this is not on the Incomparable stream, but it is being recorded, which is the important thing.
Very important.
Very important. Everyone's technology reasonably under control. Should I start the episode shortly?
So far.
Go ahead and try. See what you get.
Yeah.
I just feel like, Monty, as soon as I start this episode, it's gonna be like ding dong, couch delivery.
Couch.
We got your couch right here. Well, I should say we got like 2 parts of a couch. I don't know where the other part is. I'm just a humble couch delivery guy.
I am having a minor tech issue in that scroll bars are not showing up for me on Roll20.
When in doubt
So
with
my-
Roll20,
I'm
reload
having
the
trouble.
window.
I'm having trouble navigating the map.
Right
Okay.
Yeah,
click
just reload.
and drag.
Yeah, or reload if it's being
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
persnickety.
I
Yeah,
never
if you have a
have
trackpad, you don't need the scroll.
I never have scroll
Oh.
bars.
Oh,
You have
interesting.
scroll
Thanks.
opportunities.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
My tracking page for my couch still says scheduled delivery date pending. So there's no way they're just going to drop it off.
Okay.
That's
Sorry.
clever.
It's okay, Monty. The couch could be a mimic. This may be buying you some time.
Mhm.
Likely a mimic.
You just have to ask it. It has to tell you.
That would be a new thing where a couch, where a mimic arrives in pieces and then you assemble it and then it attacks you.
And
That would be
then
very
it would-
unkind.
And
Yeah.
It's like a
IKEA
mimic Voltron.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, quick, register IKEA mimic. Quick, register mimicvoltron.com and start some kind of, gaming news site. I don't know.
It's a Mamook, and there's a umlaut over the O's and
Mm. I think we should play some Dungeons and Dragons, and in order
Let's
to
do
do
it.
that, I should start the episode, and I do that by saying, "Welcome back to Total Party Kill." It's me, Tony Sindelar. Is he him pronouns, and today we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. That's right, we are continuing one of our adventures from Keys from the Golden Vault, specifically the adventure Prisoner 13. That's right, it's a jailbreak, or at least a jail going to. Let me introduce our players. They will remind you of who their characters are, and then we will attempt to piece together what it is we are doing in this game that we call Dungeon and Dragon. First up, he's straight from the old block. He's here to rock. It's Chip Sutter.
Hi, everybody. Chip Sutterth, he, him, playing Josh Molis, he, him. Absolutely not a chaos cleric. Absolutely not pretending to be a lawful cleric on a mission of reconciliation.
Absolutely not. More dapper than two dolphins in one tuxedo, it's Monty Ashley.
hello. I am Monty Ashley. I use pronouns he, him, as does Krong, the bugbear rogue that I will be playing tonight.
Wisconsin folk hero, Canadian revolutionary, it's Erica Ensign.
I can't argue with either of those things. Yes, Erica Ensign, she, her. I am playing Levithia du Isigri. However, for tonight, I will be known as Lexi Shrapnel. So just keep that in mind.
I forgot about Lexi Shrapnel.
Oh, that's right. And I will be going under the name of Diogenes Mainframe.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I will
see,
be
you thought-
Ken.
you
Just
thought my
Ken.
name. You thought my name was really cool, and then Monty steps in.
Yeah,
It's like,
yep. A steal at half the price. It's Lincoln Hayes. Welcome back, Lincoln.
Thank you, Tony. Lincoln Hayes, he, him, his. I am playing Xanter Quickhands, the gnome sorcerer, under the guise of my late grandfather's name, Stanley Willman.
And packed with alacrity, perspicacity, and never apathy, it's Annette Weirster. Hi, Annette.
Hello, I am normally would be playing J. Raff, who is a paladin, Asmar paladin, but today I am a guard named Anders Carrot.
Just a guard.
Just a guard, a
just a
regular
guard.
guard.
We're
Nothing to see
guards.
here. Yeah, guards, and except also guards and cooks and prison inspectors. Nothing to see here. Why are people? What is this charade that my players have engaged in? Well, our adventurers have been sent on a mission to a prison on the edge of civilization. This prison is known as Revel's End. It is an icy, sad institution, and they have gone there to try and make contact with one titular prisoner 13, a prisoner who is believed to have or know of the key to a lost, stolen dwarven fortune. And so, under a variety, perhaps too many, a variety of false identities and twisty, turny backstories, they have traveled to Revel's End and attempted to insert themselves into the inner workings of this institution in hopes of accomplishing a variety of missions at the behest of the Golden Vault a secret society, a society with secrets, a place who has allocated a lot of resources to this mission, and in return has just tacked on like the worst case of scope creep, a variety of side objectives that our players will need to accomplish here in Revel's End. They, of course, seek to accomplish those and escape, because what you don't want to do is get arrested when you're already in a prison, because that's really just shortcutting the whole justice system in a way that's just not going to be great for you. So that's what we are doing. You are in Revel's End. I think basically it has it's I think people's characters may be at slightly different places in the timeline in terms of your first couple hours at Revel's End. Some players have gotten, some characters have gotten tours. Some characters have worked a shift with a, wizened old janitor, and some characters have arranged a meeting with the warden. Anything else that I'm forgetting in my vague, wandering, meandering recap there, for my sake, your sake, or our listeners' sake? Players? Question mark.
Prisoner 13's real name is Corda Glintstone.
It's true.
Important to know that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not to use prisoners' names ever.
Yeah, you have been told that you've been given a little bit of the lowdown on some of the policies at Revel's End, which includes don't use prisoners' real names for weird Dungeons and Dragons shadowy reasons. Large disclaimer: this is not intended to be instructions on how to actually run any kind of
this
institution.
This penitentiary is positively medieval.
Yeah.
Is this a dungeon?
I mean, I
I've
mean,
always thought dungeons needed to be underground. Am I mistaken in that?
you never
Is
been
an
to a good a sky dungeon? Oh.
Like it's a tower. As a tower, a dungeon. Sometimes towers have dungeons, but they tend to be underneath them.
What if it's a dungeon of the mind?
Well, I mean, you can bring that anywhere. I'm living
Well,
proof.
thanks, Eric.
Well, the Google, which is some cloud that sends wisdom to my brain, it's definitely not the internet. It says it would be a strong underground prison cell.
There you go.
No dungeon, no dragon.
And what do you guys do you have some kind of voucher that you get to redeem when I fail to provide a dungeon or dragon? That
Just questions.
I feel like we rarely see actual dragons or actual dungeons in Dungeons and Dragons. So,
See,
you know.
now-
Monty,
but now
the last session I ran for you in another adventure literally had both a dungeon and a dragon in it.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm concerned that Tony's just
that
going
was
to
the
throw
last
dragons.
game, right? Not this game.
What have I done for you
We actually
recently?
want a dragon.
Yeah. Literally a dungeon and a dragon. He was
I don't
very
need
nice
a dragon.
too.
Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Please, no dragons.
You
I
want a
don't think
dragon? I
there
got
was-
your dragon right here.
I don't think there was a dungeon in that game either.
Mhm. So let me I did a very sweeping recap there. Perhaps each of you would like to say what your character either is up to or has been up to in your first couple hours in the prison. Annette, do you mind going first?
I do not. I have befriended Wentworth, who is a very curmudgeonly guard, but he seems to sort of like Prisoner 13. So I'm feeling like I can foster this friendship. I think I have been sufficiently curmudgeonly with him, and I want to use his inside knowledge to see what else I can learn about Prisoner 13 and the routine.
Okay. And Annette, I guess last time I talked about the map or not. The area that's the kitchens is over here. It's marked as R8 on the map. I don't know if you see that.
I do.
And those, I don't know if you see the labels on the tokens. Those are all intended to be cooks. And basically this, so you're over in kind of the prison is set up as kind of like this hexagon with kind of like little triangular spurs coming off some parts of the hexagon, and one part of those is a kitchen area. There's also quarters, I imagine, for the cooks and the janitorial staff. The other little rooms off of that are a pantry and cold storage. Just south of the kitchen is a large dining hall, which would be where prison staff would be would consume meals there. Not prisoners. Which I will probably put, I think any of you kind of in poking around the prison might think of that a meal in the dining hall might be a inconspicuous place for some of your identities that you've created for this prison break to cross paths versus the cook probably doesn't have would be kind of look out of place if wandering around the hallways or whatnot. So yeah, so you have inserted yourself into the inner workings of the kitchen and quickly been put to work preparing various meals both for prisoners and for prison staff. Cool. Erica, what have you been up to?
Wait, no, I'm the one that was
Oh.
I
She's
was
the kitchen
cook.
person. I'm the guard. So I'm hanging out in the guard quarters at the top of the map.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot. You talk to a cook, but are not.
No,
Okay.
Wentworth is another guard, is he not?
Why did I say cook? I don't know. I
'Cause
totally
there
made that
is a
up.
cook.
There is a cook. Wentworth is a
he's very
guard.
angry.
I was thinking of Peter the cook for some reason. Yeah. So the guards all stay in. There's the central spire to the Revel's End, and there's several rooms with bunkhouses. And there are the staff. There's a staff of probably 75 guards here. They work in shifts, so the 25 guards a shift. So at any moment, the kind of central spire is probably full of about 50 guards who are off duty. Some of them sleeping, some of them doing whatever guards do when they are not sleeping or not on duty, playing cards and things like that in that central spire. So I imagine that central spire is, bit of a noisy but boisterous, probably doesn't smell great kind of place. Erica, what has your character been up to?
I haven't actually done anything yet. I think I was the only one that didn't really get a chance to do much last time, which is fine because my character is just being very taciturn and quiet and sort of fading into the walls as much as possible. I'm, a sous chef, so I do what I'm told, but I'm mostly just listening and trying to learn. And
Okay.
the one thing that I learned by listening to what was happening elsewhere is that kitchen staff actually push the little trolley that delivers the soup or the
Yep.
food or whatever. So I know technically my job is sous chef, but maybe I'll make it so that they need some help delivering stuff. Food.
Yeah, I think it would probably be not hard for you to get yourself assigned to be in charge of delivering food to the prisoners in their cells on any given shift that was convenient for your other other plans vis-a-vis the heist. I would probably also mention, Erica, you might notice in your kind of work or in and around the kitchen, there is a kind of heavily secured chamber just north of the prison that probably you would have heard referred to by other kitchen staff or other staff at Revel's End as the armory. And that seems to be an area that's, though it's right adjacent to the kitchen, is clearly off limits to kitchen staff. And there's almost always a guard posted by the door to the armory.
So which room is that on the map?
That is labeled R10, and I could I could put text on things, right?
So there's not yeah, okay. So there's not actually a door that is straight from the kitchen. There's a door from the kitchen, it looks like, to the hallway and then to the armory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna search for secret doors on that wall.
Okay.
Just to check. You never know.
right.
You never know.
Just trying to find more onions, boss.
Mhm.
Looking for onions.
What did I do? All right, roll something to search for secret doors.
Or, cracks in the wall, whatever. Where is my perception? That's an 8.
You do not find any secret doors on your first day in the kitchen.
No no onions over here.
Nope. Anything else you'd like to do in your first few hours at Revel's End as you get oriented to the kitchens?
I just sort of taking in the lay of the land, and if I'm specifically trying to listen as much as possible. So if I hear anything about not so much the layout of the prison since I've got that map in my head, but more about the daily workings, the little spats between people, the soap operas that happen between the different, guards and cooks and all that kind of stuff. And anything that I can squirrel away to possibly have, leverage or a conversation opener when I need it.
Okay. Krong, you have come to a prison as not a horrible nightmare monster, but a horrible nightmare monster in disguise. How's that going?
It's good. I would like to go sweep up these counselor rooms down here. Do I get a master key for that? Blink, blink, blink. Innocent look. Blink, blink, blink.
Yeah, I imagine that as a basically maintenance worker, they trust you with a series of keys. And so, probably more so than anyone, I guess probably any guard who is on patrol would have keys assigned to them. Probably not when they're off duty. Probably not anyone in the kitchen staff, but I imagine many of the janitors have keys. So yeah, you've got a big old key ring. Also, I'll remind you, I think you've been given the ability to kind of uh, disarm any locks as part of your kind of magical preparation for this adventure. But having an actual legitimate set of keys is probably less conspicuous.
What time of day is it, please?
I imagine that it is late morning. You probably arrived right around dawn.
All right. Well, I would like to go to the counselor's rooms and just start cleaning them up until I find the room that belongs to Kriv Norixius.
All right. So the counselor's rooms, the way of Revel's End works, Revel's End is this prison that serves a variety of towns and cities up and down the Sword Coast that are organized into what is called the Lord's Alliance. Each of those 10 cities or towns has a counselor assigned to Revel's End to basically kind of serve in kind of magistrate judge type roles. Now, Revel's End is basically on the edge of civilization and mainly known for its freezing, inhospitable temperatures. So, at any given moment, about 3 out of the assigned 10 magistrates are present. And so, at this particular moment, only 3 of the assigned members of the Absolution Council are present at Revel's Edge. But indeed, one of them is Kriv Norixis. Kriv Norixis is the representative of the town of Daggerford. And the counselors basically have these little private quarters in the kind of southeasternly corner of the prison. They're off of the dining hall, but they're pretty far set aside from like the prisoners, or I guess anything that would be kind of dangerous or even, let's just say, smelly. Their quarters, as you're tidying them up, Krong, they basically, I think of them almost as like these little, just like little dorm rooms. They have a tiny little room with a bed and a writing desk and a little trash can that you empty. And most of them are empty and you're just sweeping up because no one's been there. But there are indeed 3 of them occupied. 2 of them, the representative from Neverwinter, Voss Anderton, and one of them, the counselor from Baldur's Gate, Jill Torbo. And yeah, Kriv Norixis is there in his little chambers. I imagine you knock and say maintenance and come in, and he's sitting there scribbling away in some kind of ledger at his desk, and he's basically ignoring you as comes with the benefits of blending into the wallpaper as staff at a large institution.
Excellent. I would like to shut the door and hide in the room with him.
Okay. Now, I will say that will probably be challenging because the room is quite small and pretty bare in terms of things to hide under or behind. That said, you are a nightmare monster. One of the things that is in this room is a bed.
So just to be clear, there's not a file cabinet. There's not any sort of paperwork. Nothing like that is here. He just comes here, with his pockets, and that's all he leaves with.
It's I think there's probably like some hooks on the wall with some cloaks and warm jackets, and he's got his little bed, but it's very modest. It's kind of a little monk-like existence.
I was hoping to find something to blackmail him with.
He's got a big ledger that he's working on. Maybe it's
Yeah, but-
got some journal entries in it.
Oh, okay. He is working on it right now, though.
Yeah. Maybe there's some other earlier journals piled up on his bedside table. It's a story we tell together.
I'm taking those.
All right. Give me a stealth check I mean, this seems pretty easy. You're in here tidying up. He's actively not paying attention to you. Your ability to steal them is easy. I shall mention, because you didn't even ask, you know what Kriv Norixis is?
No.
Kriv Norixis is a dragonborn counselor. There's your dragon right there, Monty. So silvery scales. Yeah, kind of middle-aged dragon, got a slight receding hairline, scale line. I don't know how that works.
Actually, let's just move this along. I'm going to use my hat of disguise to make myself look like him, and I will tap him on the shoulder.
He turns around and says, "Can I help you?" And then freaks.
Quiet.
Freaks.
Speak. Say nothing. Be quiet.
He puts his own hands over his mouth and goes, "Can you give me a quick intimidation check with advantage there, Monty?"
I guess I could. Okay, well, that is I'm sorry, I have to find my character sheet. 22.
Okay. Yeah. He looks like he may be in danger of suffocating himself.
Great. I will lean into him again, looking just like him, but seeming more menacing.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Atreus Firebrand. You know this name.
He goes, and then he realizes that he's covering his own mouth, and he's we're voting on him later this week.
You must vote for commutation. He has paid his debt to society.
Whatever you say, whatever I say, what you
Also, fire, race, and pain. Goodbye.
Okay.
And I leave.
All right. I assume you transform me into someone that is not a counselor who just intimidated themselves in the hallway.
Right. Once I'm out the door, I'm back to being just a mild-mannered janitor.
All right. About 4 minutes later, as you're there sweeping up the hallway, Krivnurix, like, the door opens. He looks out in the hallway, kind of looks at you, barely makes eye contact, and then comes back into his room and closes the door. Okay.
So for listeners, that was my attempt at activating side quest 4. Golden Vault Associate Atreus Firebrand's case is coming up for review by the Absolution Council next month. Counselor Krivnurixis seems likely to vote against commutation. Your task is to do whatever you can to convince him to vote yes. And also, behavior correction. Racing Payne is a guard known for his cruelty and brutality, including towards some prisoners whose health and safety is important to the Golden Vault. Use whatever means you deem appropriate to assure Racin's future behavior will not be an issue. We're probably going to have to do some other things for both those, but this was just a first step.
Yeah, loosen the jar a little bit. Who could be more persuasive than oneself? So
I want to make sure that if he describes me to people, he'll sound crazy.
Yeah, check and check. All right. While this is all happening, as you're all getting accustomed to Revel's End, we also have perhaps the most complicated part of the. We'll call it a plan. We're calling it a plan. Yeah, plan. Lincoln and Chip, you have a plan.
Yeah.
Why be something simple like a guard or a janitor or a cook when you can be representatives of an organization that doesn't technically exist, sent here to inspect prisons on behalf of the Lord's Alliance and make sure that prisoners are being treated fairly and justly in accordance with their policies. You have arrived under false pretenses, and I believe basically demanded a meeting with the warden of Revel's End.
Mhm.
And so while others are settling into janitorial, cooking, and guard duty, you have been escorted up the spiral staircase of the spire toward one of the upper floors, where you wait in the absolution chamber, which is the place where the counselors meet and vote on various cases, and then flanked by several guards. The warden has arrived. The warden,
There are guards currently with us.
there are guards currently with you. I imagine the warden frequently travels with guards. So the warden
Were there guards in here when we were waiting, or were
No,
we
I think
waiting alone?
you were left on your own. So
All right. While we're waiting alone, I'm also going to disguise self, and I'm going to disguise myself to look like a older halfling woman.
mhm.
Very bureaucratic dress. Someone that if you saw in the hallway, you would not even notice because she was probably doing some filing somewhere.
Mm.
And I will turn to Josh/Ken and say, all right, I need you to roll with this. It's going to be a little clunky, I think, but I have pieces of an idea.
I'll be flexible.
All right. And so the warden, Marta Marthanis, strides into the room. She is a human. Wears robes with kind of some ornate, arcane imagery along the edges that suggests that she is probably a trained magic user. Um, and there are several other guards, I imagine, outside in the hallway. So you're in the heart of things here at Revel's End. This central spire is, basically all of the barracks of all of the guards are here. So if anywhere was a bad place to start a fight, it would be here because dozens of guards could descend upon this place. This is what's called ratcheting up the tension, people. And a warden Marthanis seems to kind of put on a somewhat forced but polite show and says, yes, visitors, I apologize. The paperwork must have been displaced. I would like to say that we were expecting you, but though you were not expected, we are, of course, appreciative that you have made the journey here all the way to Revel's End. And, of course, any representatives of the Lord's Alliance will be well received here. I'm the warden. What brings you here? Perhaps you have some letters of introduction I can inspect.
Well, my name's Norma Warren, and this is my associate Ken Morris, excuse me. We are representatives of the Faerun Prisoners Liberty Association, and we were here to do some interviews with some of the prisoners here regarding the conditions here in the prison to make sure that everything is satisfactory and that everyone is being treated well. We're also hoping to interview some of the staff to make sure that they're being treated well, also.
Of course, of course. And she gestures to the table and suggests that kind of everyone sit down. The two guards with her kind of head back and stand by the door, but look, extremely bored by all this. So assuming the two of you sit down, you're now kind of seated comfortably across the table from Warden Marthanis. And well, of course, I look forward to doing whatever will be needed by you all in order to make your inspection efficient and effective, and to show that everything here is in accordance with the Lord's Alliance policies. Is it okay for me to make an opening statement?
Well, of course. We don't need to be that formal, man.
Oh,
this is
don't.
perfectly fine. No, not at all. Can I get an impression from her demeanor the type of arcane user she is? Does she
Mhm.
seem like she's got a spell book on her hip? Does it seem like she's got a staff?
Sure.
She adorned with rings?
Yeah. Give me a quick check of some kind.
Investigation,
Perception.
insight?
Yeah, investigation would be great.
Ooh, that's good. 18.
All right, that is good. So she's wearing a red robe with kind of golden trim, and you recognize that she is a mage. I think you get the sense that she is probably somewhat of a, like, I don't know, retired, mage who has kind of gone into administrative work and certainly is not in uh, adventuring work, nor in this is not a job that necessarily has requirements in the arcane arts. Or, you'd imagine a lot of wizards might be spending their time off in towers doing research or working together with other wizards on things very magical in nature. So probably not the fanciest of mages. You, I think, would probably notice she has a kind of a distinctive ring that you notice on one of her hands that has like little tiny keys dangling off of it, which is kind of strange. And I'm going to say that she is not carrying a spell book. So probably she's got one in an office somewhere. I think she is kind of presenting as mage, but isn't walking around with a wand pointing it at things, Yeah. And I think she gives off a kind of a very lawful good kind of presence as an administrator here at this Lord's Alliance facility. Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, my associate here, Ken, is a chaplain from the FPLA. Perhaps he could lead us in a quick prayer to
Of
start things off properly.
of course, of course, of course. Mr. Kaan?
Oh, great Bahamut.
While he's doing
Please.
this, are the guards closing their eyes? Are they
Oh yeah.
participating in this prayer?
Oh no. Nope.
No?
They're closing their eyes to get a quick nap.
Yeah, they're just so yeah, they're just they seem like they may be comatose. Chip, can we just get a little bit more of that, please?
Oh, great Bahamut. Please give this wonderful warden and all those in her in her care the wisdom and the understanding of our great mission, that we may use your laws and your just punishments to bring redemption to the prisoners of Revel's End.
All right. And while that's happening, Lincoln, I imagine something's happening.
Looking around, seeing if there's anything I could use to create a distraction, a diversion. Is there any water pitchers, any
Oh yeah,
coffee mugs?
there's a big I imagine one of the guards brought in just as you were all sitting down, like a big jug of water and with some little clay cups next to it. There's some big tapestries on the wall with the Lord's Alliance kind of symbol, which is like a golden crown on a red crimson field of red. There's in the corner for some reason there's a medium-sized gong that perhaps they use for signaling the start and ending of the meetings. I don't know how many more distraction related things I can provide. In the other corner there's a crate of pinatas that hasn't been opened yet.
A crate of pinatas?
Funny. Well,
wow,
they are
Okay.
stocked up. This place. No one was stopping me. Usually Erica stops me.
I'm having an off night, so you're on your own.
Yeah.
Talk about it,
All
Lex.
right.
They have great
All
birthday
right,
parties
so
for
while
all the
he's,
prisoners.
Yeah,
finishing up
so
the
many,
prayer.
so many. Yeah.
He's
We
finishing
really
up his
are
prayer.
our system of re-education and reformation is based on celebration of birthdays and other important
Very pinata based curriculum.
it's a very pinata based curriculum. So while that's happening,
watch
As soon
the
as he
D&D movie,
finishes
it's
the
all there.
prayer, Norma will start coughing.
okay.
Rather, I want it to sound very loose and kind of gross, in the
Ugh.
hopes that she might take pity on me in my coughing.
Oh, yeah. Give me an easy performance check.
Oh, geez.
22.
Oh,
That's
you
not
poor
easy.
dear.
That's really hard to get a 22.
Jeez.
You poor dear. She uses Mage Hand and she starts pouring you some water. I assume wizards just use Mage Hand all the time. It's just the real show offs like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Thank you for
she's
the
pouring you
water.
some water and puts it right in front of you.
Could I possibly ask one of your associates for some tea?
Uh, Nathan, some tea for our guests. And one of the guards leaves the room. The other one looks
Thank you.
comatose.
Thank you so very much. Um,
Nathan
Well,
does now have to walk down like 10 stories to find tea. But
Bye, Nathan.
Well played.
yeah.
Thanks for this.
Mhm.
So, um, telepathically, I'm going to communicate with Ken that, all right, I'm going to attempt something risky here. Be ready to vamp if this goes poorly. And then I'm going to look at the warden and look at the guard and subtly under the table, doing the somatic portion of the spell, I'm going to attempt to charm both of them.
Oh, okay. Now, charm can be a powerful spell. Charm basically allows you to it makes people like your pals,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
The downside is that after it wears off, people I believe are aware that they were charmed.
Yes, she's
Um,
being charmed by Norma.
yeah. Oh, true. By Norma, a person that, as far as I know, doesn't exist. Um,
It's my
and
grandmother.
okay. In the real world, not in D&D.
Yes,
Yeah.
could be in
Okay.
D&D. Who knows?
Mm. Let me just grab stats here for the warden real quick because I assume you need
That
me
is a
to
wisdom save.
make some rolls.
Wisdom
All
save for both
right.
of them.
Now I will tell you, as a mage, Marta's wisdom not bad. I
I'm
have
hoping her
rolled.
intelligence is better than her wisdom.
I rolled an 11 on the wisdom save for Marta, so that's not great. I suspect that's not enough.
Who's our guard? How's he doing?
And this is Phil over here in the corner is the guard. His name is going to be real important later.
Mhm.
He does not have any bonuses to his wisdom save, but I could still roll high. Let's see how that goes. Phil has also rolled an 11. So tell me and our listeners what charm
Oh,
does to everyone in this
wonderful.
room.
I
Well, not
can't believe
everyone.
this actually worked.
Yeah,
All right.
risky
So
move.
both of them are charmed.
Mm.
They do is charmed by me until the spell ends or until we do anything harmful to them. They regard us as friendly acquaintances. When it ends, they know they were charmed by me. However,
Yeah.
by then, hopefully, we won't be in this room anymore.
Mhm.
So, now that she is charmed, I'm just
And
going
I'll remind
to.
you, charmed is friendly acquaintance.
Oh,
So,
yes, very much.
this is like we have this suggestion a lot here on Total Party Kill.
Mhm.
This is like, a coworker you might go to trivia with. This is
Absolutely.
not, this is not like, you're charmed. Give me all of your money and worldly possessions.
Right.
Yeah. This is not the level of camaraderie
Right.
that, it's not like, you're charmed. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons together. No.
Right.
Yeah.
If it went badly, I had suggestion in my back pocket, but
Okay.
here we are
So
charmed.
what's the next part of this plan?
So then Norma's just going to lay it on thick with the rhetoric of the FPLA, what
Yep.
we're doing, what we're trying to do, and that we want to speak with prisoner 13. We want to speak with all of the prisoners. We definitely want to. We know that the prisoners are only known by number, but we are also interested in speaking with Noros Stoutspark. We had communication from some of his family back on the mainland, so they wanted to convey a message to him, and also communicate to her what we've learned about race and pain and encourage her to take disciplinary action against him, possibly terminate him, which is funny because I didn't know Krong was going to do that.
Right.
And also put in a good
I'll
word.
just remind you, charm only works like for an hour, right?
Yes, exactly. But maybe
So,
she'll get on the horn and start doing
yeah,
stuff, you know.
so start doing all the paperwork right
Yep.
now.
It's literally a horn.
So I'm talking
Yeah.
quickly, so she has a good
Yeah.
45 minutes to follow through.
Do all the paperwork.
And
All right.
see if I can put in a good word for Atreus Firebrand as well. Maybe she can nudge Kriv.
I think that all happens. Again, it's a friendly coworker, not someone who owes you a Wookiee life debt. Just give me a quick persuasion check. I think probably just to see kind of how effective you are given the complexity of the work that you're attempting to delegate to you.
Could I possibly have advantage from
I think so.
My church boy next to me here?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be super hard of a check.
Oh, no. Persuasion?
Yeah, what did I say? Persuasion.
Okay.
Remember, advantage with advantage.
It's 14.
I think that's okay. Marta is just kind of like nodding her head, and as you rattle off your list of things, and she puts her hand on your shoulder and says, "Norma, I can't thank you enough for bringing all of this to me.
Absolutely.
I try to run a tight ship here at Rebel's End. It's a prison's complicated organization. We have almost 100 people here on staff, and not everything is the way we would like it to be. It's the way it is. But obviously, I will take.
That?
Well, I cannot speak to the ethics of every guard here so much that I take any complaints about employee behavior very seriously, and they will be dealt with. And I will be doing paperwork on Mr. Atreus right away. In the meantime, Phil, who has also been charmed, Phil is going to be your escort while you're here in the prison. So Phil, make sure that they are taken care of, and Phil will arrange. There's a room where you can meet with prisoners down on the first level. I'll indicate that where that is on the map for you.
Wonderful.
What else? And this would normally be you're going to need to handle this information very sensitively, but I will provide a list of the prisoners' identities and real names and assign prison IDs. But I do ask that while you are in the facility and among the prisoners, that you only use their identification number. It's an important part of prison policy. It helps flatten what would otherwise be unhelpful dynamics that they might bring in from the world of organized crime.
Absolutely. And
we
just
would not dream of interfering with your discipline.
Absolutely
not. So yes, gonna go start that investigation paperwork on Mr. Atreus, and we'll make sure you've got facilities and you'll get the list of prisoners. Anything else that I'm missing here?
Can I do an insight check on her to see if what we're hearing from Golden Vault about her strange behavior is coming through in this interaction?
Yeah, go for it.
Insight 15.
I would say based on your 15 insight check, she seems to be acting under the influence of some kind of charm spell.
Is it my own?
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, seems like it was cast sometime in the last hour, based on how long charm lasts.
I see. Well, just so you know, Marta, is that your name? Yes, Marta.
Yes, please call me Marta. I feel like we're close work acquaintances now.
We're workplace proximity associates for sure. I just wanted you to know that I will be heading back on the next ship. So actually another associate of mine will be resuming the duties here with Ken. He's a gnome gentleman. You'll probably see him around as I will be departing. But he knows everything that's going on. He just couldn't arrive with us at the same time. So ships passing in the night, as it were.
That seems strange given the rarity at which ships pass here, but you've been so open and honest with me. I can't think of any reason why I would be confused by that.
That's what I like about you, Marta. You're very easy to talk to.
Well, I've got some paperwork to do, and you've got some prisoners to investigate. Please don't be a stranger. I know it's a lot of steps up those stairs to my office, but
my poor back.
It's an open door. It's not an open door. It's a prison. The door is quite firmly locked, but
yes.
Don't hesitate to knock.
It's an open, locked door. Got it.
Yes, that's a conundrum. And she leaves.
Okay.
All right. You do have a bit of a ticking clock before
Mhm.
she realizes that she has been magically tricked. Technically,
and
Phil the
one
guard
of the
also, though he's less less up to speed on the magic on the arcane arts. Um, and
Telepathically, I'm going to
yeah.
connect
and
with Ken and say, can you distract Phil? I'm going to get out of here and turn back into me.
so sure, just one thing, Norma, aka you know, you disguised yourself. I'm still here.
Right.
Good
Yes,
luck.
yes.
So
You,
when they
you stay with
realize
the
that they've been
guard
charmed,
by me, not by
They
you.
won't know who. Sorry, go ahead.
I
Yeah.
think they do. I think they do know that Norma charmed
Oh,
them.
okay.
I think they.
Yes.
I think I don't. I think the spell does not go into detail about how that works, but like somehow they know. I guess that it was like, hey, that person did a thing to me, and that was weird. And I don't like it.
I just have I just have mild discomfort,
Yeah.
Norma, aka Stanley, aka Xanter.
I think we're going to be
When they
okay. I think
realize
they're
that
going to think it was me, and you could probably lie your way out of it. As a holy man, of course.
It is the two of you and
your
Phil.
acquaintance charmed me. Yay.
Yeah. It is the two of you, and well, I mean, I think Xanter or at least Stanley will be great at covering for you. um, um, it's the two of you and Phil who is looks ready to run errands for you.
Phil, is there a lavatory I could use at my age?
Uh, Yes, it is inconveniently on the map, like 10 stories down.
Oh dear. Well, I better get started.
All right, there's a privy. So Phil starts walking you down the stairs, I guess. I don't know if you want to get rid of Phil or there is a privy on the first floor off of the storage area. Do you want directions or do you need an escort?
Oh, I can find it on my own, I'm sure.
Well,
I'm sure.
I'm
I
supposed to
imagine
stay
Ken.
with both of you, but I guess I'll stay
I
with
can
Ken.
handle it, young man. Thank you very much. I
All
don't want
right.
to hold you two up. I'm sure Ken has plenty to
Mhm.
tell you about Bahamut and about our mission. He's just
Yes.
so charming, this Ken. And I try to reach up and touch his face, but I'm a halfling, so I can't
Yeah.
reach.
I guess Nathan should be back soon. I don't know why we have these meetings so many flights up.
It is inconvenient.
Mhm. All right, and so you can
Well,
sneak away
toodaloo.
and become yourself.
58, 59,
Yeah.
60.
In the hall, you pass somebody, a guard carrying 2 mugs of tea, and it's like he's got a mug in each hand, and it's like they're way too full, and he's like really like having a hard time going up the stairs with them. Yeah. Do you want to where do you want to meet? I guess do you reappear in the room where Ken was?
At the bottom, yeah. I wait for them to come out the stairs.
All right. So they appear, let's say you all kind of show up in the area outside the spire, which is the panopticon that looks into all these cells, and you get a quick tour of kind of the northwest corner of the prison. There is a weird privy area off. There's a big storage area. Revel's End, given its remote location, does have a large keeps a lot of supplies on hand in case they are cut off from their regular shipments. And you were also shown to a meeting room. It's this weird kind of triangular looking room on the western corner of the map here. It's it's a little chilly, a little drafty. I think that there's the guards have dragged in a table and some chairs. There is somewhat conspicuously in this room a ladder leading to some kind of hatch in the ceiling of this room, but that is the room they have set up as a meeting room for you. Now, I think there's a bit of a ticking clock here in terms of at some point Norma's going to get in trouble, and suspicion may fall upon our prison inspectors whether Norma is ever seen again. So just warning you about that. And sometimes when there is suspicion, and especially Norma was last seen in the prison, and no one has seen Norma exit the prison. Sometimes prisons adjust some of their security procedures to tighten things up. So some of what you have accomplished may come at a cost.
Sure.
Norma may have to fall over a wall or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to produce a corpse. This is the. Did
If
anyone
need
bring
be,
a
I can
spare
cast
corpse with
disguise
them?
self again
Yeah.
and leave, and then come back as myself.
All right, we spent a bunch of time with Chip and Lincoln. Should we jump back over to other folks who has something that they would like to be doing while all this complicated magical meetings are happening up in the spire?
I would like to find out, get my guard training so I can find out what the
Okay.
security measures are.
Yeah,
All right.
onboarding.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you have been introduced. You met Wentworth, the surly kind of jerk guard, but you are quickly introduced to Eula Dargeria, who is the head guard of Revel's End. And you get the sense that she is like a no-nonsense straight shooter, and she is giving, there's a bunch of you there who are, it's your first, you've been rotated on as giving kind of the guard orientation. I imagine that she has you kind of line up in ranks in the middle of the panopticon area, and she's kind of, having you march back and forth and shouting a mix of orders and instructions about how things are going to work at Revel's End. So, key things that you've learned about how guards operate. Guards live and do much of their work inside the spire at the center of the panopticon. So the first floor is where the prisoners are observed. So there's this little hexagonal room. It's got 3 doors leading into it, and it's got arrow loops all around it that basically allow the guards to see what's happening in the several dozen prison cells around in the panopticon, with the idea that given the arrow loop feature, a prisoner is never entirely sure when they are being directly observed or not. From that central kind of guard room, Annette, you know that there is a control panel that is used to remotely operate the doors for all the cells, and they can only be operated remotely. They are very proud at Revel's End of the anti-magic field that is cast on all of the cells and the area immediately around the cells, which would keep the prisoners from doing anything magical or anyone from outside the prison cell magically interfering with the prisoner or the prison cell that they are kept in. You were basically told that, when you're not on duty, you should probably be in the spire. The prison, Revel's End uses basically, they don't call it this. They would have like a much more serious term for it, but the buddy system, where you will basically never be kind of alone. There are lots of different roles that a guard might have that they all involve guarding, but you might be stationed in the control room. You might be stationed in one of the guard towers, kind of on the perimeter. There's guards that are assigned to patrol around the hexagon that contains most of the cells. There are guards that monitor the exercise yard, and there are guards that watch the elevator that goes up and down to the docks. And of course, guards would always be assigned in case there's, a prisoner needs to be transported from one place to another, or a counselor needs to be escorted from somewhere. So I think it wouldn't be too hard for you to kind of insert yourself into the day-to-day working of things. And, if there is a particular thing that you would be convenient for you to do, you can get yourself listed as that for that shift or on that routine. The guards all wear matching uniforms. They all have these kind of like red uniforms with a golden crown on them, the symbol of the Lord's Alliance. They carry swords. They don't use any kind of magical weapons or magical items. It is super drilled into you that the prisoners use numbers. Prisoners are always referred to as numbers. As far as you're concerned, they have no names. The numbers indicate how long they have been imprisoned at Revel's End. And the oldest longing serving prisoner currently at Revel's End is prisoner number 6. The most recent prisoner just put in last week was prisoner 299. But there's, not all numbers are being used because there are people that have been put in and then sent out. So other things that they drill into you in your really intense orientation. Conversing with a prisoner about anything other than prison business would be a major infraction. And I don't think they say this, but it is clear that doing anything that looked like magic, a spell that had verbal or somatic components would be an infraction too, and be out of line. So anything else that I know that was a big info dump about prison guarding. Anything you were hoping to learn about prison guarding that I didn't cover?
Yeah, I put up my hand because I'm that sort of guard. I was like,
Yes, you there.
When do the prisoners go to the exercise yard?
Most prisoners are given an hour in the yard once a week. We send some of the less dangerous folks out in groups. Your more dangerous folks, one at a time. You'll notice some of the prisoners are doubled up, two to a cell. We make sure that the most dangerous prisoners are kept isolated at almost all times.
I put my hand up again.
Again, you again.
Yeah. So which ones are the most dangerous prisoners? Which ones should I keep my eyes on?
Well, you'll come to know some of them, but hey, it's good to make sure the newbies know a little bit of what you've got in here. Watch as Tony improvises some prisoner backstories. Well, we got prisoner 47. We're not really supposed to talk about what was life on the outside, but let me tell you, if I told you the name of prisoner 47, you would recognize it. This fella, multiple assassinations. He's serving 9 years into a life sentence. Gonna be careful around prisoner 47.
Has he killed any guards?
We current guard fate. No one has died at Revel's End in quite some time.
Okay, good to hear.
It's been a week.
Yeah. Asterisk.
Hey, change the
sometimes it's a
sign.
variable amount. Yeah.
One
of the guard next to you, Annette, is kind of elbows you and says, "I hear they got a goblin in here for spying. You get 10 years for that."
Do you know which one?
Well, I think, and he looks around the panopticon, and you see a surly looking goblin kind of leaning on the bars. I think it's that one. It might not be that one. I imagine that so the prisoners themselves, and I guess Annette, given your role as a guard, you would probably get a pretty good look at the prisoners themselves as they're kind of having you march in parade rounds around this around the panopticon. The prisoners are garbed in these kind of kind of drab, kind of I don't know, tunic sleeveless kind of cloaks. They've got kind of little sad leathery sandals, and they've got I imagine a big Roman numeral kind of stitched on the front corner to identify them.
Do we get based any kind of dossier on prisoners? Do we learn anything about them or we can look them up, or do we I have to get gossip? I don't get
Are you asking Eula, the head guard, this, or are you
I'm just asking did they provide that to me? Otherwise I will ask it.
It doesn't seem like this is there's no Facebook for them. That's clear. Eula kind of lectures the group. It's remember, you're not here to learn about the prisoners. You don't care about their lives before. You only technically care about their lives now. Our job is to keep things safe and secure. You're not here to make friends. Let me say that one more time. You're not here to make friends. It's like reality television, people. A thing that I hope to invent.
It's our job.
Once I'm done with running this prison shift.
I'm here for the right reasons.
Anything else you'd like to learn about guarding, Annette?
When does my shift start? My next shift? What's my next shift?
you basically get 8 hours on and then 16 hours off, of which you are expected to sleep during part of that. Honestly, seems like not a bad gig, except for the part where you have to live
Yeah,
on
16 hours off in
yeah,
between in a prison? What
no
do you do for
commute,
your free time? Like, that
no
sounds
commute. Yeah,
terrible.
you are on the edge of civilization, and I mean, they do
nothing to
mention,
do.
for example, I would say the least desirable shifts to get a net are any of the guard duties that involved being exposed to the elements, because they warn you that it is sub-zero temperatures outside, and that's unpleasant.
They're like
Uh,
a fur coat or a cloak or something when
yeah,
you're outside.
they give you some winter weather gear.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I imagine it's probably a little bit of a, Outlook Hotel, The Shining kind of situation where slowly people are going mad. But also they play cards. Uh,
I'm good at cards.
Yeah, let's make up what some of the clubs and organizations that the prison guards have created. There's a
Well,
drama club. And,
They've got to have
I'm
one of those
picturing-
basketball games with like the waste paper baskets.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'm picturing one guard as a big enough cleric or something to have sending.
Mhm.
So like everybody goes to him every day and he charges exorbitant amount of money to send
To send
25
messages
word
home.
messages to like your girlfriend or something.
Okay, yeah. Mail call, and he's like, just tell me what you want them to say to hear. Oh, nice. Okay. Good.
It's got to be
Really.
like the black market too. Someone's
Yeah.
got to be in charge of the black market.
Mhm. Do you want to, as you're being given a tour, I think from the information you were briefed on, the location of Prisoner 13. Do you want to look for them? He says,
I
leadingly.
do. I
Um,
do. And when I see them, I want to like poke that guy who's next to me and be like, "Who's that one?"
All right.
Pointing at prisoner 13.
Let me look for my art of Prisoner 13. That's a character sheet. That's not art.
Some might say character sheets are art.
Thank you, Erica. So at one point in your rounds, you pass a cell, and there is, a somewhat diminutive but very serious looking dwarven woman kind of leaning by the bars inside her cell, looking out at you. And probably the first thing you notice about her, Annette, is that she is just covered in tattoos, and she's got kind of a serious haircut going on and a kind of stern look as she kind of gives you some intense eye contact, and one of the we'll say that the chatty, the guy that you are frequently stationed next to, possibly your companion throughout your first several shifts of
My
guard duty,
buddy.
elbows you and says, "Yeah, I heard about her. She's prisoner 13. She's the real deal. I've been warned to steer clear of her."
Since she's making eye contact, I'm just gonna like sort of nod in her direction to see if she knows that we're coming, and
I think she gives you a kind of mysterious, just little nod back. Unclear what that means. I'm not sure what it means, and I just did it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if she knows we're coming. I'm just
Mhm.
wink nod.
All right, players. I know we have done a lot here in Revel's End, but I think we have come and gone on an hour. Is there anything else that you would like to accomplish before I wrap up this session?
I'd like to go into the other counselors' rooms and see if there's any when they're not in there. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just be sweeping in the hallway, and once they leave, I'll just go in there and rummage through their stuff.
All right. I think that though this is obviously basically kind of the worst administrative posting that you can get, the people that get assigned it, I think, are still of relative wealth and privilege. And so the two other counselors have, they've got nice clothes, they've got fancy, books with, pens and inkwells. And, I think you're kind of, your fancy Dungeons and Dragons businessman kind of stuff that you might have, signet ring, that kind of stuff. Anything you want to help yourself there too, Krong, thus creating lots of complications now there's been a crime spree in the prison? He says hauntingly.
No. Nah, I'm good.
All right. And so our adventurers have spent some time at Revel's End, whether it's sweeping up chopping onions, or learning which way to patrol in the hexagon. It's counterclockwise. Or they've already lit a fire under several matchsticks, and those matchsticks are piled atop just a crate full of pinatas because people have used magic in ways that are ill-advised and mean that this whole elaborate house of cards could come tumbling down. And who will it tumble down on? Probably Josh, but to be determined. will our
Sorry,
will
Chip.
will our players will their characters serve out their sentences here at Rebel's End, or perhaps be condemned to a slightly more mild temperate incarceration for the crimes that they have committed today? Many too numerous to name, but let me start with impersonation, not bribery. We skip right to intimidation, forged business documents, and using magic on a warden. Where am I going with this? I don't know. For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. The end? Sorry,
More like the
Erica.
beginning.
That's
Yeah.
You
fine.
don't say the end right after you say tune in next time. That doesn't make any sense.
I think Erica cuts that part out, and I think I say
Every
it every
time.
time. Yep. See?
Yep.
Monty, system works.
Thank you, Erica.
Yep.
You're welcome for so
Yep.
much.
Yep. Every time. I don't know. For some reason I thought we would things would catch more fire, but I think we're still in the building tension phase of the heist.
I think charming the warden may accelerate
Uh-huh.
things a bit.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
All I can
think
say is start with when you're interviewing, be like, let's just interview randomly. Let me pick 13.
Lucky 13.
Lucky
Yep.
13.
And whoever
So I will
Norris
say, it's tricky when we have a bunch of different things to make sure that time is getting spread around. And I know it was not spread around evenly. If there's stuff I can do to improve that next time, let me know. I think there are also the potential for people's plans to collide and people to happen to be places, and you can say like, oh, I want to be in the hallway while such and such is happening. Guess what? You're in that hallway, because that's how we Dungeons and Dragons here at Total Party Kill. But we're moving along. This is this is one of the adventures I think I was the most excited to run when reading through Keys from the Golden Vault. It's also like even more open-ended, I feel like, than our the first two heists. The third one not so open-ended. But yeah, I think that's where we're
No,
headed.
I think doing it that way worked well, like going from person to person. I'm loopy and drugged right now, so I didn't have a lot, but hopefully next time I will be feeling better, and then I will be able to do more to move the plot forward. We'll see.
Well, we have a couple folks watching the YouTube stream right now. Thank you for
Yay.
watching. Thank you to the folks who listen to the bootleg later.
We love our listeners.
We will be back
Thanks,
at
JP.
a
Good
to be
stuff.
determined date that we'll probably determine right now after we sign off. Goodbye, nerds.
Bye-bye, nerds. And
Stopping my recording and stopping.
stop. And